What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Today is August 20th, 2026, year of our Lord, and it's time to get into the greatest afternoon show in the world, y'all. Today it is AC Reviews the World, and I'm your host, AC the Engineer. Now, today we're doing one topic today because that's what I really wanted to talk about, basically. But we got to get over to some shocking new details that just emerged in the Carmelo Anthony case. And it seems like we're finding more details about the gentleman's agreement that the prosecution and defense had to not reveal some stuff about each other's character. So we're getting more information about the background of both Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony that could break the case. So we got a video to look at. We got some Twitter information, and then we got the AI breakdown. So let's get overall into it and see what we can find out, y'all.
Both prosecutors and the defense in this case presented their case using a motion for a new trial hearing to expose the violent backgrounds of both Anthony and Austin Metcalf.
JD Miles has been in the courtroom all day, and he joins us now live with the latest. JD, there is a lot to unpack here.
There was a private off-the-record agreement between attorneys for Carmelo Anthony and prosecutors to keep the sordid backgrounds of the killer and the victim out of the ear of the jury and the public, to focus solely on the murder trial and what happened under that tent at the Frisco High School track meet last year. But now there's in this motion for a new trial, the background reports are being released, and the defense is going first, releasing 20 pages now of Austin Metcalf's behavioral history. Carmelo Anthony was dressed in a suit and tie for this morning's hearing, which began with the defense arguing that efforts by the trial judge and prosecutors to combat threats and deal with disruptions actually prevented Anthony from getting an open and fair trial. But bombshell testimony came this afternoon from Anthony's trial attorney, Mike Howard, about Austin Metcalf's background report that was never presented to the jury. CBS News Texas has also learned new details about Austin Metcalf's background. Metcalf and his brother Hunter were once caught spray painting graffiti, including KKK Kill All Blacks and Heil Hitler, along with the N-word, and were sentenced to 12 months of juvenile probation. Records reveal they reportedly told authorities, "We did some dumb stuff. We did some vandalism." There are several documented instances of Austin using racial slurs in school, and in 2023, Austin was accused of bullying a black student in class. In 2018, while still in elementary school, Austin and his brother were accused of bullying and assaulting a female, which led to his arrest. During an argument in 2024 with another female student, Austin allegedly knocked her to the ground and punched her in the stomach.
Yo!
He was also kicked out of a football game and texted someone later, "I was about to beat the expletive out of those kids." At a previous track meet, when another student alerted Austin that someone not on their team, quote, "behind our bench was talking wild," Austin reportedly replied, "Kill that MF." During the 2023-2024 school year, he received in-school suspension twice. School disciplinary records from April 2022 to May 2024 reveal that Austin reportedly called a teacher the B word and used profanity. He told a school official that he couldn't control it and wasn't aware that it was coming out of his mouth. In 2024, on at least 5 occasions, Austin saw a counselor regarding his anger and rage during a football game. In 2021, he got banned from attending basketball games for a season after yelling profanity at a player. Metcalf also got suspended after he and another student were talking about bringing a gun to school the following day.
Whoa! Yo, this is a lot of new information. Well, I think we did learn, so we got to call it how it is. It sounds like Austin had anger problems and he would be considered a bully. I mean, it doesn't seem hard to assume that now, but we actually hearing it and actually have some evidence to back that up. A lot of people were saying that he was bullying him. Now, he could have said the N-word to Karmelo, but no matter if he did say that, I will never say that Karmelo should have stabbed Austin. But let's keep going into this, y'all.
Well, we understand that prosecutors, meanwhile, they do have a 75-page character dossier on Carmelo Anthony, which they promised to present as well. That document shows that on the morning of stabbing, Anthony sent out a text saying that he was, quote, low-key on the verge. and that his girlfriend went to their school principal to complain that he had been stalking her because she broke up with him. Of course.
So that is what we're going to get over into about Carmelo Anthony, about his girlfriend and what she admitted. So let's get over into that. And Sarah Fields, independent journalist on Twitter, she posted a lot of stuff about this. So we'll get over into that now. So a lot of people, so look at this, a lot of people have asked why Carmelo took the knife to the track meet in the first place, which was a big red flag in the first place. Why would you bring a knife to a track meet? So on the morning that Carmelo stabbed Anthony, Carmelo's ex-girlfriend went to the assistant principal saying she broke up with Carmelo and that he was stalking her. So a text is then shown from Anthony that says, "I'm low-key on the verge," the morning of the stabbing, and emphasized it. He also threatened her with a knife in one message and told her in another text message, "When I stab somebody, I'm going to lick their blood off the blade." I warned a long time ago that they did not want to open up about Carmelo's history. So that's just her saying some stuff like that. So a lot of new information is being brought up about both of them. So it seems to me the character of both of them, both of the kids are in question. But ultimately, y'all, no matter what the character is, no matter what they tell us about each of the characters, I still haven't seen anything that says that, or any witness talked about them trying to jump Carmelo. I didn't see them about him, only about him pushing Carmelo and then telling him to leave multiple times before the push. Now, I can't understand how you can get a self-defense from that when no one else could see that you was about to get jumped. I don't know if that's what he thought, but pushing him, even if Austin said the N-word to him, which I've had debates about this with my friends all the time, you can't lose yourself to anger and then stab someone in the chest. Now, I'm not saying that's what Austin did, but based on his background, it's a possibility. We got to be honest about that. But let's get over into the AI breakdown, y'all, just to wrap this up and see if it tells us anything else. So, as we talked about the newly revealed text messages from Carmelo shown in the documents, it showed, including a message where he fantasized about stabbing someone and licking their blood off the blade. These revelations emerged during an August 20th, 2026 court hearing where Anthony's defense team is actively arguing for a new trial following his June murder conviction for a fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf. So the message, alongside the graphic fantasy of licking blood off the blade, another text message featured a photo of a knife with the caption, "I'm low-key on the verge." So prosecutors, they revealed that less than 2 hours before the stabbing, Anthony's ex-girlfriend told a high school administrator that she was afraid of Anthony and accused him of stalking her. So the biggest thing is about the gentleman's agreement. So the character evidence about both of these boys were withheld because of in the original trial, because it was basically like an informal agreement. So the defense documents revealed they possessed photos of racist graffiti allegedly spray painted by Austin Metcalf and his twin brother, which featured racial slurs and Nazi imagery. Now, a lot of people was bringing up stuff that these kids were racist and everything like that. I mean, now they have something to stand on. If you spray paint Nazi symbols and stuff like that, they have a legitimate reason to call you a racist at that point. So it's just bringing more possibilities of a retrial. So the retrial hearing has introduced a massive procedural development. So we know that the judge of the original trial was recused. Anthony's new defense team is pushing heavily for a retrial under the new judge. They argue that the previous judge operated a shadow docket by relying on off-the-record agreements, which ultimately hurt Anthony's defense and violated his right to a fair trial. What do you mean off-the-record agreements? So they argue that the previous judge operated a shadow docket by relying on off-the-record agreement. Who was he agreeing with, the prosecution, or were they not aware of the agreements? What did they mean by that? So Anthony was released on reduced bond of $250,000, down from $1 million. His family has stated that the money raised from the public donation is being utilized for its survival. No, he's in jail. What is they talking about? So remember, y'all, no witness has explicitly testified on the stand that they were about to jump Karmelo in the first place. However, the concept of him being ganged up or surrounded was heavily contested. One of the students also mentioned that they asked him to leave the tent 15 times. While no witness admitted to jumping on the stand, Anthony's defense team is currently arguing that vital character evidence regarding the victim's history was suppressed. And it seems like both, because no one's going to want to hear that on the same day that you stab someone, you send a picture and a message to your girl saying you want to lick the blood off the knife that you stabbed. Both of these kids, I don't know. I still think 100% that Karmelo is guilty of a crime, of course, and he should be sentenced to jail. But the real question is, will all this new information call it for a retrial? And if it is retried, would they still give him some time in the first place? I think any reasonable person would think that Carmelo Anthony needs to spend some time in jail. Now, you debate on how much time that should be. Some people say life, some people say it should be a smaller time, but in general, I think a reasonable person would be like, yes, he needs to spend some time in jail. That's only right. But if it's retried, what if he gets no time in jail? That's something we got to talk about, y'all. But let me know your thoughts and let me know if you disagree with anything I said, y'all. Now, like I said, that was the only thing I wanted to talk about today. Let's see if still a real quick search and see if there's anything that just pop up that we'll go over one more topic if I see it. Anything that jumps into my eye. Let's see. Nope, I think that is it. Yep, that's it for today, y'all. I think that's it. What we're going to talk about. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a short time for live streaming today. But that is the main thing I wanted to talk about. How do y'all feel about it? Do you think that Carmelo Anthony deserves a retrial? Do you think that the prosecution did something wrong? Do you think the judge did something wrong in the first case? And how do y'all feel about that new information revealed? It's a crazy world, y'all. But that is it for today, y'all. I will see y'all again for a full show for our last show of the week. But the world's a crazy place, and we got to review the world together, y'all. But we might as well play that outro. So I'll see y'all. Peace.